everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 71783, Kai's Mech Rider EVO from the LEGO Ninjago theme. This set contains 312 pieces, 4 minifigures, and will retail for $44.99 in the US. This set does not officially release until January 1st, 2023, but it was sent to me early by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Before I get started, I'd just like to ask you guys please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Right now I'm doing a bunch of early 2023 LEGO reviews, including more Ninjago sets as well as a bunch of other themes. In fact, there's already a bunch of other reviews up on the channel, so if any of that sounds like something you'd be interested in, by liking the video and subscribing to the channel, it'll help put those videos in your feed as soon as they're posted, and also really help support me and the channel. But with all that being said, let's get on to the review. So here's the main build of Kai's Mech Rider. It is, of course, a mech that is riding a bike. That, I think, is inherently just a really cool idea and concept, and having it in person, it gives me, like, major Bionicle vibes. Just like having a larger buildable character riding something that is also buildable. I think that's very cool in concept. So I think just conceptually the set is amazing. But how is the actual build? Well, let's take a look at it. We'll start by taking a look at the mech, then the bike, and then I'll show you how the two of them combine. This is also, of course, the Ninjago EVO set, meaning it has two versions. Its evolved version and its normal version. This is the fully evolved version right here, but I'll show you how to take it apart to make the non-evolved version after this, in case you're curious as to how that looks as well. So here's the mech in the set, and as the name of the set may suggest, this is an EVO mech for Kai. Now, I do find it a little upsetting that this is another Kai mech, because we did get a Kai mech in the last wave, and while this one is very different from that mech, Jay, Nia, and Cole are still yet to get official mechs, so I would have preferred if this was for one of them. Alternatively, if this one was for Lloyd, and then Lloyd's mech battle was for someone else, that would have been okay with me too. But yeah, just getting a second mech for Kai is a little bit disappointing. Here's a fun Ninjago fact that you may not hear in the other reviews. Thanks to the LEGO Ambassador Network, I actually had the opportunity to talk to a few of the designers that worked on these sets, and in that interview, they talked about how this set was originally Lloyd's Mech Rider, but it was changed to Kai's Mech Rider, presumably because the higher-ups at LEGO wanted to make another Kai set. That was a little disappointing to hear, because I think Lloyd's Mech Rider would have been more interesting, assuming that would have meant the Lloyd mech set would have gone to someone else. But all that being said, let's accept the fact that this is a Kai set. Let's take a look at how the mech actually looks. The feet on the mech here are incredibly simple, very similar to the Zane EVO mech, just with some of the colors swapped out, obviously using red and black. Moving up the leg, it uses the EVO joints in gray. That was introduced with the LEGO Avatar wave this year, but I'm happy to see it's being reused in 2023. A while ago, I made a prediction video where I said that I think these joints will be reused in Ninjago in 2023, and I assumed because they were gray, it was going to be used for either Nia or Cole. Never expected them to be used for Kai, but still I was technically right because they were still used in a Ninjago set this year. Anyway, yeah, on top of those gray EVO joints, you just have the red armor pieces. They fit in well here, and they help keep this as like a Kai mech. However, there's like nothing special about them. It also uses the EVO mech cockpit piece in gold. This is reused from the Lloyd mech from last year. However, the printed tile that all the EVO mechs have is strangely not present here. Not sure why that is. Very easy to customize if you wanted to do that. But yeah, I would have appreciated if that was included. And of course, this opens up. There you can see there's a seat to sit Kai inside. Place him in there like that, and of course close the cockpit back up around him. The mech actually has like these armored shoulder pads with like the stickered part at the top with Kai's logo on it. That's probably my favorite part of the build. It's really what makes the EVO mech like really unique. Other than that, it feels pretty generic. But yeah, they're able to be moved a little bit if you want to articulate them differently. But other than that, it's pretty much just a great EVO joint that comes down to the hand. And the hand uses these new finger pieces which look amazing. They're all new for 2023, and they really help with the idea of the Mech Rider in this set, because that way you can wrap the fingers around the handlebars of the bike in this set and make it look like the mech's actually driving it. There's also a Technic-hole in the hand. That's where you can attach a weapon, and you can see on the other hand, that's where Kai's massive over-the-top sword connects. Speaking of that, uses the new large golden blade piece for this wave, and just all the mech, this blade looks ridiculous, oversized, but when he's actually riding the bike, it doesn't look too out of scale, so I think it's fine. You've got a gold bar that adds some texturing on the side, which is nice to see. Up at the top, you have an all-new printed banner piece, and around the back of the build, it actually has like a little jetpack. This holds two clips where you can attach the swords, and then there's fire coming out the bottom, so I guess you can imagine the mech flying like this. Articulation's about what you'd expect for an EVO mech, because it does use the same base build as all the other ones, so it's very stable and easy to pose. The large sword does make it a bit more difficult, but if you remove that, yeah, it's just like all the others. Now moving to the bike, this thing is wacky. Without the mech on it, it's got a really weird shape to it. It's got this like huge console in the center, but like that doesn't extend out over the front wheel or behind over the back wheel like an actual bike does. Rather, the wheels are just sort of big and on the edge, and there's this seat in the center, so seeing it without anything on it looks really weird. I think when the mech's on it, it looks a lot better, but yeah, in its base form, it's just strange. You've got like these large sort of like vent pieces in the front, as well as these golden blades that point out, I guess, to be weapons for the actual bike. A few stickers used to theme it more around Kai, both on the top and on the side here. And then there's fire shooting out the back to propel it forward. Everything is basically the same on the other side. And then coming to the main seat, you can see there's a stickered console piece right here with the mech to actually look at. Looks like it has some diagnostics as to like how fast the bike is going. And then there's an exhaust at the very top. top. Now, how the mech actually sits on the bike is there's two clips right here, and the bottom of the mech has these two pieces to attach to them. So basically, you just click that in place, and then you can move the mech's legs to make it look a little bit better, wrap the mech's hands around the handlebars, even though that doesn't really do anything, it's just purely for looks. And there you go, now Kai's mech is officially riding the bike, it fits it pretty perfectly, and as I said, it looks a lot better when the mech's on here. I actually think this is quite cool. In terms of the actual EVO aspect to this build, there's not much to it. The evolved form and non-evolved form are pretty similar. To transform this back into its non-evolved form, you remove these golden blades from the sides of the bike, of course on both sides. Also remove these fire pieces, once again from both sides. Take the giant sword out of the mech's hand, and remove the banner from the top of the mech. That's all there is to it though. You can see the unevolved version of the mech bike is fairly similar. The EVO form is an improvement, like the golden blades and fire do add a lot. But yeah, without it, the entire bike's still here. It just looks sort of uglier from the sides. I think mostly the blades and fire just do a good job of covering up the ugly Technic parts, which are still visible with them on, but it helps give the bike a bit more bulk, because without it, it is a little strange looking. But I think that's about all I have to show you for the bike, at least as for now. I'll give you my overall thoughts on it at the end of this video. For now, let's move on to the minifigures, because there is no side builds in this set. The villains get no builds, so yeah, let's take a look at those minifigures. So here are the first two minifigures in this set. We just have Core Kai and Core Nia. Neither of these two are new for this wave, they both came out in lots of sets last year, and I've covered them both many times in the channel, so I don't have a ton to say about them. However, they both are quite good minifigures. You can see Nia comes with her armor here, but Kai does not, and that's because, of course, Kai is a mech in this set, and the mech is not really made to fit a minifigure with armor, so just to make it easier for kids, I guess, they just don't include the armor at all, so that way you don't have to take it off. I would have preferred if they included it, but it's very common nowadays, so honestly, it's not a big deal. But anyway, yeah, the figures themselves, Kai I absolutely love the color combination on. The pants being different colors is a little bit strange, but honestly, I think it works, especially when looking at it from the front. The bright orange, though, is just such a perfect color on him that I feel like they should really use more often. The one entirely red arm is also a little bit weird. Would have preferred if he had like a different colored hand there, but that's a customization you can make if you wanted to. And then around the back, he's just got that ninja logo there with like fire circling it. And then Nia I also really like. In my opinion, this is a near perfect Nia suit. I don't like the one entirely blue arm. I feel like that's really out of place, but the metallic printing on her torso is incredible. And the transition from gunmetal to just normal grinder legs is a little bit disappointing, just because the gunmetal looks way better, but it's also not the worst transition in the world. And I think it works, again, especially from the front. And there she is with hood and armor removed, so you can see her full face print, and there is her back torso print as well as her alternate face. Once again, same ninja logo, and lots more of that like metallic wave printing. Yeah, these two are both good minifigures, but neither new nor exclusive. Happy to see Nia again though, because she was one of the less common ones last wave, however she's actually quite common this wave. And then here are the other two minifigures in this set. We have the Bone King and a Bone Hunter. Now this is the cheapest set the Bone King comes in, so that does make the set more desirable, and I think he is easily the coolest of the Bone villains. Just the overall very red color scheme looks amazing. Red and black is just a great color combo. The gray belt that he has looks great too. And actually, those like skull knee pads that also have jaws at the toes. I don't think I mentioned that in any of the other reviews, but that is so cartoony and goofy, but also awesome. I genuinely really like that. The only part I'm not a super huge fan of is that like gold chainmail on the torso, but it's not a huge deal. I think it's fine. And I think the coolest part about this guy is actually the face. That like metallic skull on top of that green head looks super cool, very ominous. Definitely makes him look like a villain, which is the goal with these guys, considering there is no media to support them. It's all up to your imagination. And then in terms of accessories, they come with a bunch of different bone weapons. Of course, they're part of the new bone weapon pack, so you do get all the different weapons in this set. But in terms of what like officially comes on them, these are the four that are used. 2 bone swords, 1 for each of them, and then also a bone scythe. And this piece used for the Bone King's helmet also comes from that weapon pack. There's how he looks with the helmet removed, and then turning him around, you can see he has the classic LEGO like tattered cape piece, and flipping that up, you can see the back torso print, which is also really good, where he's got like this armored spine going down his back. I think that looks really amazing. And then Bone Hunter I think comes in most, if not all, the sets this wave, so I've already talked about him quite a few times. But in short, I think he's fine. The color combination is cool, but he's definitely the least interesting of the Bone villains. He uses a lot more silver than red, and I think with this color combination, the red looks a lot better. However, the silver is definitely not bad by any means. Those chains do look quite cool. My favorite part has to be like the spring green used on him, and that like new molded lower jaw piece is fun, but unfortunately I feel like it's kind of ruined by the printing quality of the face, because I think the greens of both of those are supposed to match. However, because the face is a little poorly printed, they do not at all. So I have a hard time seeing this like as the jaw to that head. Rather, it comes off as like more of a mask, which is like okay, I guess, but I don't know, it would have been cooler if those two colors matched. There he is with that removed though, where I do think he has a really great face print. And then turning around, you have more of those metallic chains out the back, very similar design to the front of the torso. And So, what are my overall thoughts on this set? I think this set is really cool in concept, and in execution there is still a lot to like here. However, I feel like it's let down in quite a few places. Number one, the price. The price on this set is way too high. 312 pieces for $45 is ridiculous. And I know the price increases happen, so stuff's going to be more expensive, but it does not need to be this expensive. The set has a few big pieces in it, specifically like the tires, but only 4 minifigures, 2 of which are not new for this wave, and only like 1 of which is not super common. That being the Bone King. Like, this is the cheapest way to get the Bone King, but I don't think that alone's enough to justify $45 for this. This is easily the worst price set of the wave, which is a shame because I think it's a really unique concept, but yeah, at that price I cannot recommend it. Price aside though, in terms of the actual build, I think it's good. I wish there was a bit more to it. Like, I wish the bike did a better job of covering up the wheels, because it is a very awkward shape, and I also wish it wasn't a Kai bike. I think any other character would have been more interesting, but I do at least appreciate that this mech is different from the previous EVO mech that Kai got, and I do still like a lot of what this set has to offer. I think it's very fun to sit a mech on the bike. As I said, gives off major Bionicle vibes. The mech is a little ugly in a few places because there's a lot of Technic showing. However, that doesn't bother me because it is meant to be a very mechanical bike made for a mech, and again, that's what Bionicle sets looked like back in the day. So it's the kind of stuff I just remember seeing on shelves as a kid, and it gives me like a very nostalgic feeling. So if this set was like 30 or 35 bucks, I'd be like, yeah, it's not for everyone, but I recommend you check it out if you're interested, because it's a really unique build. But at $45, that one's not worth checking out just for the fun of it. Unless you really want the Bone King and are not planning to get either of the bigger sets that he comes in, I really don't think you need this set, at least while it's not on sale, because as cool as a concept as I think it is, the price is just too high for me to recommend it in good faith. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm doing a bunch of other early 2023 reviews, including more Ninjago, as well as a bunch of other themes, such as Minecraft, Mario, Monkey Kid, and more. So if any of that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe, because there's already a bunch of reviews up on the channel right now, and more coming over the next few days. But as for this video, I think it's about all I have to say. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed and could give the video a like, I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!